Connie Huckabee. I will be giving a speech on why emotional maturity in a relationship is important. So if everybody could close your eyes and imagine a world where we can have relationships that conflicts are resolved peacefully, trust is established, and emotional being is prioritized. Emotional maturity is crucial in a healthy relationship. It is the building blocks and the foundation of it. It impacts our overall well-being and happiness, and I'm going to explain why. So, as a student who excessively studied emotional maturity and the dynamics of a healthy relationship, and as someone who practices it in their own relationship with their significant other, I have gained valuable insight on the significance of the emotional impact that it could have. So today my aim is to persuade you in practicing or gaining emotional maturity in fostering a healthy relationship. What do you think is emotional maturity? Mom, Matt?
Cleaning up all your stuff when you make a mess.
Mom? No? Chase?
Okay.
Do you have
Emotional maturity?
I believe it's overlooking things when your partner does something that irritates you. Overlook them.
Looking past yourself to see the other.
You be the biggest person.
Those are all really good answers.
Thank you.
The actual definition is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions.
Oh.
So for the next slide, we're going to go over some key characteristics. So the first one is self-awareness and introspection. It's the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions and thoughts or emotions may reflect your morals. That goes from you have a standard that you hold everybody else to, that you need to hold yourself to. And I know it could be difficult and that you need to just really focus on yourself more than what you want out of everything. Emotional regulation and impulse. Do you allow your emotions to control you, or do you control it? Do you get angry and throw things, or do you take a moment and think about what your actions are? Empathy and perspective of others. The ability to understand and share feelings. Empathy is taught, and you can learn it. So those are things that you can practice. Accountability and responsibility, the ability to understand that your actions are your responsibility. Own up to it. If you make a mistake, say you made a mistake. It just makes people trust you more. What benefits do you guys think having emotional maturity is in a relationship? Or, excuse me, what are the benefits of emotional maturity in a relationship?
Very little.
Bonding.
Yeah, bonding and lack of bickering.
Alright. In this video, SB Kashabah Swami gives a fantastic example on how emotional maturity can affect relationships.
They say when two people are angry at each other, you know why they shout? It's a bit strange because they're right next to each other. Like, why are you shouting? You're right next to that person. Or one ancient Sufi saint, he said the reason why people shout when they're angry is because although they're next to each other physically, their hearts have become so far apart. And because their hearts are so far apart, they feel the need to shout to try and make up that distance that has been created. And have you noticed it works the other way as well? When you have a very loving relationship and your heart is very close to someone, sometimes you can be within them in the room and you don't even have to say a word, just the movement of the face, and they understand you and you understand them, because the hearts are very, very close. They say when two people are angry at each other, you know what?
I love how he speaks. Every word is very calculated. You could tell he truly believes in what he's teaching. There are many ways to communicate with your significant other. One of those is actively listening. Listen to hear and not to respond is one of the best quotes or advices that I ever received while serving in the Navy. Once the other person is finished speaking, repeat back to them in an empathetical manner what you heard. This may sound like extra work, but this is to ensure that you really understood and received the information that that person is trying to tell you. By doing this, you show that you truly want to resolve the situation, which helps prevent defensive attitudes and in turn help de-escalate the situation. Practicing mindfulness, speak intentionally. Just as S.B. Kashabal Swami speaks each word he spoke carefully. What are you truly trying to communicate? Remember each word carries value. After a conflict or conversation, ask yourself, did I effectively communicate what I needed to? How can I improve my communicational skills so that next time we can reach a solution quicker and easier? Have there been any patterns or reoccurring events that have led up to this that you can change and stop? If you have done all of these yet still are getting nowhere, there is no shame in getting help. Use a neutral party like a therapist. Using friends and family can get messy. Practicing empathy, I will admit, if you're not used to looking at the situation from a different perspective than your own, can be hard. If you are actively listening, you should be able to comprehensively understand where they're coming from. Try and imagine feeling the way they do about the situation. Take a walk in their shoes. Another great way to practice empathy is volunteering. It could be a real eye-opener. It can also be a way to build a great support group. Many people find very close friendships through volunteer workshops. So building trust and intimacy, having openness and vulnerability allows each person within the relationship to feel more comfortable with sharing their thoughts and feelings or issues that may arise throughout time. This creates a space where the interactions will be full of honesty and integrity, creating trust practices. This creates a space where the interaction will be full of honesty and integrity, creating trust. Practicing this makes it easier to maintain over time as strengthens the bond between the two. You can learn how to support your emotional well-being. This can be achieved by learning healthy coping skills to to help you enhance your emotional maturity, and you can achieve this by working on your mental and physical health. So some of the things that you can do to enhance your mental health would be deep breathing, taking a moment to think. So if you're in a heated moment, you could step away and say, could I please have a moment? I'm not ready to have this conversation. I would like to come back to it. When I'm ready, I will. Is a big thing that I and Chase also do, is whenever we have a disagreement, we say, I'm not ready to have this conversation, but when I am ready, we will have the conversation. Just give me a moment, and we both have agreed that we would respect that. Writing in a journal, putting all your thoughts in a journal could be a very healthy way to really think through what you're feeling and how you're interpreting the situation. Another great way is playing with a pet. I love playing with my dog whenever whenever I have a lot of thinking that I need to do. Visiting or building a support group such as friends and family is a great way for your mental health to strengthen. It goes back to that volunteering. Some physical examples is working out. A lot of people get a lot of stress relief from working out. Getting enough sleep is a huge thing, because most people are pretty grumpy when they don't sleep. Staying off social media. There have been tons of studies on how blue light has affected sleep. There has been studies also that seeing someone else living their life on social media, how they travel and stuff, may affect your mental health. And also for physical health, it prevents you from sitting on the couch all day or for hours and ends. It can get you up and get going whenever you get off social media. And of course, eating a healthy diet would definitely supply those nutrients that your body is craving. It can be difficult for someone accepting who you are or forgiving yourself. It's a great way to practice self-compassion. In conclusion, emotional maturity plays a major role in your relationships. It is one of the most detrimental things in relationships, especially if you're not fostering mental health and as a whole. And it promotes overall well-being. By cultivating emotional maturity, we can build a stronger connection, experience greater fulfillment, and contribute to more harmonious society. So that's not only just your relationship, that's in your community and worldwide.